We are back. Welcome back, everyone. We are back with more Mega Man, and more Mega Man, and more Mega Man, and another one. This time we're just going down a number and going to Mega Man 5, but this time no one's going to be playing it except the computer, which is known as a TAS. I'll let Moonkues go ahead and explain that, and he can introduce his commentator as well. Have fun, good luck. I'd say good luck, actually, but it's a TAS run. So,
yeah.
Have fun.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Moonkues. I am the author of the Mega Man 5 Rush Only TAS. It's going to be played entirely on BizHawk. And I'll let my co-commentator, HJ, introduce himself.
Hey guys, glad to be back. This is HJ, going to be helping Moon out with some commentary here. For those of you who have not seen it, this is such a fun task to watch. It's got to be one of my favorites, period. Certainly my favorite Mega Man task. It's just this combination of, beautiful movement with Rush, sort of that combination of taking the benefits of, using Rush as a platform or the coil and the jet, but at the same time removing an element that you have with Mega Man 5, which is the charge shot, and really just kind of doing a dance with all the enemies with the lemon buster shot. It's a lot of fun to watch. You guys are in for a treat. Moon did a fantastic job scripting out this task, and can't wait to watch this thing. Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to count down, and then we're going to start, and I will try to explain stuff as best I can along the way. So hope you enjoy. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Basically, like HJ said, Rush Only means that we're going to only be using Rush adapters throughout the entire task. Which, like he said, is only going to sit there and bring some challenges to the table because we're only able to shoot lemons throughout the entire thing. We can't go as fast. We go to Gyroman first because we're looking to get Rush Jet. So, as you can see, we're going to be shooting into shields a lot. We're going to be hopping over stuff. This run's going to really bring a lot more strategy into it because Mega Man 5 really has one of the worst enemy iframes in the entire series. 8 frames of iframes for each enemy. So sometimes it's just easier to deboost through everything. Sometimes I hop over stuff like you saw just right there.
I think like one of the benefits it seems that of using Rush Coil first, or of using Gyroman, is that this stage is a very vertical stage. I feel like generally you probably want to use Rush Jet more than Rush Coil, but in this stage where there's a lot of, not only do you get Jet from this stage, but Coil actually probably helps more than it would in some of the other Robot Master stages, right?
Right. So here we come to the first auto-scroller, but yeah, you're right. Rush Jet really is much more useful as a platform throughout this entire task. We do ride him from time to time, and it kind of gets a little scary with weapon use as we go along. But you can see we're sitting there using Rush Coil to reach enemies to try and get rid of them quicker so we can just keep moving through. And here we're coming up on Gyroman. So our plan here is we're going to try and keep the blades on the screen as much as possible while he's on the ground. When he's up in the air, we try and get him off as quick as possible to get him back onto the ground. Each Robot Master has 28 HP, so that means 28 lemons. And we have to account for that and work with that as best as we can to try and get them down as fast as possible. One of the cool things you're going to see here in a second, we're going to actually be able to hit Gyroman up in the air. We use Rush Coil to just like that, and Gyroman's down.
That's so cool. Seeing that shot in the air. Completely can't see him behind the cloud, but you know right where he is.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a
Flag.
just a shot in the dark essentially, but you're still hitting them. And I do apologize about the kind of choppiness of it. But that's just how things go right now. So next, we're going to start doing more traditional boss order. We're going to go into Starman next. This stage, you're really not going to see a lot of Rush Jet used as a platform, except for the end for a section that I really hate. I hated scripting it multiple times, and there was no easy way to do it. But it's going to be, a lot of deboosting, taking shots where I can.
Now, is there a portion of lag management in this run where there's so many enemies and shots on the screen plus added rush? Is there an element of that?
Oh yeah.
That we'll see.
Yeah. Rush Jet uses a lot of lag when you're riding him. Actually, not horizontally, but when you have to sit there and move vertically, he will incur a lot of lag. So we try and not move vertically as much as possible. We also sit there and, we try and clear enemies to reduce lag. Right here, I'm going to take out all 4 of these guys just to sit there and not take the energy. That'll be faster than, taking it. This section, it was one of those sections that there's no easy way to do it. But it's cool because you kind of see Rush Jet phasing through a platform. We're coming up on Starman. We're going to start seeing Rush Jet used as a platform to be able to hit Starman up in the air. We're going to abuse Starman's shield and shoot inside of his shield a lot. And also, we're going to abuse how close we can get to him too. And as you can see, we're basically like halfway into the shield and we're still not getting hit. We'll take a couple of hits just to kind of get ourselves onto Rush Jet like you just saw.
Where does the hitbox actually begin and end with that shield? It looks like there's a lot of leeway to not get hit.
Yeah, I believe it's on the outside. Like, you can go pretty far in, and Mega Man's Buster extends past that.
Makes sense. It's a awesome fight. Once again, just jumping on Rush Jet as a platform, trying to get every shot in as soon as each iframe ends. Just such a cool looking dance.
Yeah.
I gotta say, my favorite part of these of this cast is the boss fights. Just every one of them is really fun to watch.
Yeah, and we'll see a really cool trick that I managed to pull off here in Gravity Man fight. So we've got Gravity Man. We're going to see a little more use of the platform. And a lot more deboosting just to make it faster. It really is just a good
it's a good movement tool.
Yeah.
Just, allows you to. It's very versatile in this run. The normal strat, obviously, with Mega Man 5 runs is to use the arrow. It'll allows, a lot of the movement is based off of that. Obviously, you can't get that in a rush only run. But you use it in, it's not as fast, obviously, as the arrow, but you use it in a lot of the similar ways, whether it's riding it, using it as a platform. It's crucial for the movement in optimizing this run, whether it's just barely getting over an enemy, whether it's preparing for a slide on a platform like that. All these things, it looks awesome when it's done, the way the task can do it. This is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I mean, as you saw right there was, I was able to sit there and, summon Jet like immediately after the last HP hit. So you're going to really see a lot of Jet being used as a platform to hit him up. So yeah. And we'll just keep using him to hit him as much as we can up in the air without having to wait, 14 different times. And there we go.
I love that move where Rush is spawned up high while you're on the ceiling, and then you happen to land towards the top. You shoot him again while he jumps up. It's just such a swag fight.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Do you want to talk about in between here of what got you into Rush only in particular for this game?
So basically, it was Hatchet Man Smith who decided to do the run himself. It was kind of an inspiration. He really enjoyed doing that kind of run, and sat there and I was like, hey, what if we were to sit there and, see how fast this run could actually be, and if we could actually get it past, an hour. So a year and a half ago, I started working on this project. So what we're seeing here is I'm going to be doing the crystal skip.
What is going on? You keep getting hit. What's going on?
Yeah.
Look at. Oh, how did the task die? This is task. You're not supposed to make any mistakes.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So we're doing crystal skip. If you've seen the any percent to this, basically the game doesn't know where to put me right now. There are so many sprites and everything going on that the game is trying to figure out where to put Mega Man. So in probably about 30 seconds or so, the game's going to go, whatever. I'm going to put you right at the end of the stage. So probably about 10 seconds or so, he'll start popping up.
This just started being used in the any percent run relatively recently. I want to say a year or two ago. Primarily, the runners of any percent would collect the letters that you saw probably throughout the stages to get the bird beat. However, obviously you can't do crystal skip because you miss getting the letter in the stage. However, Baron Haynes and Becco both started doing the crystal skip and doing the run referred to as beatless, and now that has turned into the faster route. Which I love to see, because the crystal skip is really kind of a neat trick, and whenever you get to see a glitch like that in speedrun, I always enjoy it. So the fact that we got to see it in the Rush only tasks, and in such a cool manner too, because there's some safe ways to set it up with the arrow, but doing it with Jet is I'd say a lot more precise.
Yeah. So here's the crystal fight. We stick close to him just so he doesn't hit his crystal attack again and incur a massive amount of lag. So that's one of the cool things is this stuff is proximal. So you have a lot of proximity attacks, and we'll abuse that to reduce on lag later throughout the run.
So that was Robot Masters down now, I think?
Yes, we're 4 down. We've got 4 to go.
Halfway there. Halfway there.
Yep. So we are now going to Napalm Man. We're going to see probably the only real glitch, I would say. So here we're starting to deal with the tigers. We just try and get past them as much as possible. They take 2 shots, but they're so hard to hit because when you shoot them or get close to them, they sit there and they leap. So we just try and get past them as fast as we can. We shoot down
A
the
little wiggle.
yeah.
Love it. Kind of manipulated it to jump and then just sort of wiggle.
Right.
Cool.
But
This part in the any percent run is scary because the water pulls you / pushes you. But once again, the task sliding through it with no issue.
yeah. You can see we're still using Jet as a platform to sit there and reach up ladders faster because the higher we get up on ladders, the easier that we can sit there and get to the next screen faster.
Climbing ladders, I believe. I heard this was the case in Mega Man 2. I don't know if it's the case in Mega Man 5, but I heard the ladder is roughly 25% slower than your regular speed. So,
Yeah.
Avoiding ladders whenever you can.
And right there you see the screen wrap that probably one of the few that we're able to do in this game because like Glitchman's tasks, we're unable to sit there and get up high enough with Rush Coil or Rush Jet, and he's actually not fast enough to reach up there. So here we're at Napalm Man. Here's another proximal boss where we want him to keep shooting at us. We don't want to have him shooting his bombs at us because the explosions that they cause will sit there and incur lag.
You just see he's always flashing. There's never an instant where it's flash.
Yeah.
It's incredible the precision of getting each shot in as soon as the next iframe ends. Cool stage too, with like the tanks in the background. I always liked Mega Man 5.
Yeah, and
It did a lot with this game in the 8-bit era. It's an advanced game for its time.
and the sound was and the music was always so cool too, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So here we're at my favorite stage in this entire task, which is Stone Man. We're gonna sit there and use Rush as a vertical platform for a lot of the vertical climbs in this stage. We're going to avoid a lot of the Mets that are in this stage because they are just really long to deal with. So we're gonna just be trying to get past them as much as possible.
What triggers those whatever they are, bats?
The bats, I believe, are on a cycle, so they'll just show up at a predetermined time. Like the Mets and the cones kind of sit there and are more proximal as well, which is something that the developers seem to have used a lot. So we're trying to just get through this room as fast as possible, dealing with the lag. We summon Rush here just to kind of be able to shoot things to not have to deal with them as much as possible. And we're going to be sitting there trying to clear off as much as we can to just be able to slide through and not incur as much lag as possible.
Once again, just mashing through it so that you can continue to slide and finish it off with using Rush as a platform to get higher up that ladder.
Yeah.
I like this section coming up here too. Again, just the versatility of Rush and just skipping a half of that section right there.
Yeah.
So again, you think of, Rush only, and certainly, it's definitely a more challenging run. You see things like that too, and you can see the benefits, the movement benefits. So there's, certainly probably more cons than pros, but there's some neat things you can do with Rush in this game.
Right. So with Stone Man, we're going to sit there and we're not going to even use Rush because most of the time the iframes, when they end, they're going to sit there and we're going to be able to hit them without needing jet. So we're not going to use a lot of jet in this one. But we'll hit them as much as we can and just kind of deal with the invulnerable spots that he has, and just hit him as soon as possible.
Stone Man, the keeper of the best weapon in Mega Man history.
Yeah.
Power Stone.
That we don't even have to use.
Again, one of the benefits of Rush only. Not
Yeah.
having to deal with that.
Okay, unfortunately I'm going to pause it here for a second. We're going to we're going to have a little bit of difficulty for a second. Let me switch up something really quick. I'll be right back.
While they're doing that, real quickly, we have a $20 donation from TWM Walters that just says Poggers, and that donation has gone purple for the Spyro bid war, and we also are now only $1 away from the Mushroom Cup versus GP showcase for tomorrow. Literally $1. Anyone give $1 and we can meet that. And we really appreciate that. Thank you, TWM. I got another donation for $1 from Nicholas Allen, who says, "Hey, I found this $1." That going towards the Spyro Reignited Trilogy Color Bid War for Yellow, and that also completes our final incentive goal for the marathon, which is the Super Mario Kart Mushroom Cup versus GP Showcase. Thank you all for your wonderful support and filling all those incentives and those wonderful things that we get to watch and experience now. It is absolutely amazing the support that you all have given towards this wonderful goal. Keep it up. We are less than $40 left until we hit our next goal of $1,500. Keep that support and love coming in. Thank you again.
All right. All right. So let's do it from this way. No. Okay. Okay, whoops, hold on. Too far. Okay, we'll just see this again. No, this is an obsolete one. Crap. Wait a second. Sorry. Wrong one. Give me a second. There we go. And then right. Okay, there we go. Should be good.
There we go.
Okay, so now we're in charge, man. I do apologize about that, really. So let me transfer this a little bit. So Charge Man is a pretty fun stage to do. Basically, I learned a lot about Rush and how he moves. Chicken Room. This is dedicated to HJ for sticking with me right now, and all of you guys, seriously. Originally when I did this room, I had to sit there and deal with trying to use Rush to ride over everything. When I did this revision, I sat there and actually just decided to deboost through everything. Which eventually that proves to be another challenge, because during this part, I sat there and took a deboost, but anything that I would have gotten hit by in the next room would have killed me. So I actually had to take a deboost out of this screen in order to be able to get to the next part. And as we see, Wily's candy machine strikes again. So
Interesting. Is one of the reasons you went with the chicken room with all the deboosts to maximize slide, but lag management, or just kind of a combination of the two, of just sliding as much as possible? Or
it was basically it was a lot of lag that I had to deal with as far as that was concerned. Because we rode Rush so much, it incurred a lot of lag. It was a lot slower, so the deboosting was a lot faster, and it saved about 4 seconds the second time around.
Wow.
One of the worst bosses in this stage, or in this game. And unfortunately, we have to fight him again, and that'll be coming up in the refights. So, that down, we're now on to our last Robot Master, Waveman. This one is fun in its own right. It has one of the longest auto-scrolling sections in this game. But for the most part, we're going to sit there and just plow right through everything as quick as we can.
And if you thought you saw a cool bubble skip in Mega Man 9...
Yes, we've got a jet bubble skip here too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna ride it up,
I've never done the skip here, but from what I understand...
And the thing of it is that the Mega Man 9 bubble skip is a lot more forgiving than this one is, because any moment you touch the bubble in Mega Man 5, you cannot sit there, it'll pop. So you have to touch it at the last possible moment. We can't do the boat skip because Rush is too slow. So we have to do this entire auto-scroller in the boat. And out of spite, I did it pacifist. So enjoy the pacifist auto-scrolling section, except for the squid at the middle of it. Plus, I mean, we get the cool jams, you know?
Yeah, true. I mean, this whole soundtrack is fire. I remember asking the question about lag management on the screen. You had mentioned that there is no lag on the screen, surprisingly. So, I mean, once again, it just goes to show you the difference, how optimized they made Mega Man 5. I mean, really, to me, this is a really impressive game for being on this hardware. Especially when you look at some of the other classic Megas that introduce all these enemies and, you know, the charge shots and Rush and Mega Man 3 and 4, and how much lag is in those games. They did a great job with this game.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I was really surprised when I sat there and did this because I was like, there's no lag in this section.
Yeah, it's a really seamless, you know, everything's just flowing. Maybe because it's an auto-scroller, I don't know, but it was, you know, flowed really well.
Right. So, Waveman, we're going to sit there and exploit being able to shoot through his water spout. Because really, invulnerable stuff really isn't going to stop us too much. And, of course, just like Starman, the hitbox from the Buster extends through the water spout and we're able to shoot him.
That, Waveman looks a lot like Empoleon.
Yes.
Which makes me hungry for sushi. But I digress.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
So now we are down with the Robot Masters. We are now heading into the Darkman stages, which now poses an interesting problem. If this wasn't TAS, we would have to sit there and do a lot of weapon energy management throughout the entire thing. But of course with TAS, we're able to sit there and circumvent that by scripting in weapon drops. So, of course we're starting with Dark 1. More tigers. I hate these tigers, really do. So we're going to buster through as much as we can. And it doesn't really incur, there's a little bit of lag, but not too much. And it's a lot easier than having to shoot all the tigers, because they take 3 lemons per shot. So we just try and get through them as quick as we can.
So that's something I never even thought to ask of. So obviously, when, you know, for those with the Mega Man franchise, you obviously know that the weapon refills do not refill between every stage in the dark stages or the Wily stages. So in a Rush only run, yeah, I didn't even think of that. So normally you would run out of rush at some point. So you are able to script in, sort of manipulate enemies to give you large ammo drops that keep you going.
Yes, and actually, amusingly enough, that weapon drop was not scripted in. I didn't have to do anything for it. It just automatically dropped, so I didn't have to sit there and mess around with anything. And I just decided...
Always lucky.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to grab it. So, and it proved better in the long run. This boss, we're just basically preempting his shots and trying to hit him as soon as possible. He is one of the hardest ones in this entire set of stages because he just gets faster and faster, and you have to sit there and keep reacting to where he's moving to. So, he is down, and we're now going on to Dark 2.
You're rushing through these stages too fast.
I'm sorry.
This is some of the best music in Mega Man right here.
I'm sorry. Maybe we should get a specific band to sit there and cover these songs.
Right? I'd say you're really rushing through this.
Yeah. So, Dark 2, we're not using Rush too much through this part. Wily's Candy Machine, dispensing more 1-ups for us. We're just going to sit there and basically just speed right through this. Taking some D-boosts through these Crystal Joes. Avoiding some shots just to, because it's quicker to jump over or, hesitate the bullets. This room, it's just kind of hopping over, avoiding them. Wasn't too much lag going into that room. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use Rush for that section because I had to shoot through the Met tank. That shot there was to sit there and juke out the tiger to make him jump over and get out of my way.
Oh.
This boss is fairly straightforward, just shooting him as much as possible and, keeping him around the center of the room. Really, unfortunately, the bosses get easier as the Darkman stages go on. Dark 1 is legitimately the worst. And it's even worse when you're doing it standard, because I remember watching Hatchet do his runs, and he had to make sure he was coming in with E-tanks because that tank would just get so fast, and there was not much you can do about it. So now we're on to Dark 3. Dark 3 is the stage that I had the worst worry about because it had these really large gaps if you've ever played it before, and we used a lot of rush jet throughout the entire thing. And this was before I really learned how to script in shots or weapon energies and stuff like that. 1-up! Another candy machine. You see we use Rush as a platform there to help us get up the ladders faster. And we just keep using them to get up these, kind of like Splash Woman, those sections.
Skipping the platforms or getting up, skipping a couple to get on the higher ones.
Yeah. So you saw there I used a pause buffer to despawn Rush, so because there was no way, if he had kept going, he would have blew more energy. So using the pause buffer there helped us out in the long run. So this is the first of the long sections, where we're just gonna use Rush as vertically as little as possible and just keep going horizontally with him, just to decrease the amount of lag that we're doing. We're gonna slide underneath the hopper. And still moving.
Oh wow, those jumps.
Yeah.
Those are 3 tight jumps.
Here's the second of the 2 gaps, and we're going to use probably about almost the rest of our energy here, but not quite. Oh, one thing to note. because of weapon energy. Mega Man 5. Oh, first, the donut. Donut boss. Simple any percent. We're just going to keep hopping over the donuts. And he's basically easy peasy. Quick thing to note. Mega Man 5, if you run out of weapon energy for a rush adapter, you can still fire lemons. Whereas with Mega Man 4 Rush, if you ran out of weapon energy, you aren't able to shoot things anymore. So they kind of upgraded Rush a little bit for Mega Man 5.
Nice. And is it the same limit as far as having 3 shots on screen at the same time?
Yes, and actually, that's a good point leading into Dark 4, actually. Good call. So one thing I learned as far as this was concerned was you cannot shoot again until the shot resolves. And what I mean by shot resolving is you see the little kind of explosions. Well, you can't shoot again. It still counts as a shot so long as the explosion remains on the screen. So you're still only able to shoot 3 per screen, I guess.
Makes sense. Yeah, and it just prolongs how long it's on the screen with that explosion.
Yeah, and it kind of poses a challenge trying to clear out those blocks on the previous screen.
There's a whole lot of red on the screen.
Yeah, and another thing to note is you cannot summon Rush effectively to completion on a moving stage. So, like the tower that falls when you're blowing away the blocks, you can't summon Rush. When it comes to the Crushers coming up, you can't summon because the Crushers still count as a moving stage. And it really produces an interesting challenge later on.
This is really only the second stage that you've used Coil, right? Like that you've actually used it?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's neat. So you use it in the first stage to get Jet, then this run is primarily Jet until you get to yet again another vertical stage in
well, and part of
Dark
that
4.
and part of that also is to preserve Jet because I already have so little Jet that I might as well switch up to Coil and use that instead. So
Makes
as
sense.
we see, as usual, it's Wily. Friggin' Wooly. If you have any donations, Cosmic, to take a quick second.
Nothing at the moment, but just a reminder that we are less than $40 away from $1,500, guys. So keep those rolling in. You still have some polls that you can vote on for the Cyber Shadow tomorrow. Same with Shovel Knight for the characters and the Spyro Reignited Trilogy color. So get your donations in if you want to see what you want to see for tomorrow. Those are all for tomorrow. So you got plenty of time, but please, let's hit that goal by the end of the Mega Man block. So you guys got about
incredible.
2 hours left.
Yep.
That's incredible. 150% of the original goal. You guys are doing great. Keep it coming. It's a great cause.
So here we are in Wily 1. We're going to get a couple of big energies, which were really hard actually to get. Funny story, weapon or actual drops do not commit until near the end. You can change what that drop is with your inputs. It's kind of interesting. So when I was originally trying to get those big energy drops, I saw that I got the big energy. I would go back, slide, so I'd start, getting forward motion going and everything else like that. But by the time I got to where the weapon energy should drop, it didn't drop. So the slide right after the shooting manipulated the drop. So as you saw, there was a little bit of a hesitation and everything else like that. I had to figure out the right combination to get the weapon drops.
Wow.
Here we are at Crushers. We're going to see a little bit of a zip right there. And we just keep moving on. Just keep on moving. We're going to be coming up on, I believe, Big Pets. And this this boss is kind of interesting because you are unable to shoot him unless the platforms are out. Plus, we got to sit there and dodge all of these little guys too, and it's a fun fight. And I prioritized shooting the boss instead of shooting the little ones unless I was able to, or they were going to just be in my way and hit me, which, you know, made me unable to shoot him. So that is down.
It's a nice, like, little, seems like you get them into sort of like a little pattern there.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard of a pattern to get into. It was more actually shooting those other platforms that was kind of like a little bit annoying. So here we are, Wily 2. And here we come to the infamous water section, which we are still bound to the laws of Mega Man, which means it is a background. So anytime we are in a slide, we have to slide cancel out of it before we jump. So we just try and get through it as quick as we can. Shooting stuff.
Sometimes you don't even notice those quick turnarounds.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically just one frame inputs that just, you know, quick turnaround. Even when it, like, during the last fight, you know, all of a sudden 2 guys are popping at once and you didn't even see Mega Man turn. So, here you see we're deboosting through the mouse, because we can't actually shoot the mice at our current height because they are lower than Mega Man can shoot, so we just deboost them as much as possible.
Top stage.
Cirque Q9. This is one of my favorite boss fights in this task, because kind of like what HJ said before, it's like a dance. We're going to go through about 3.5 cycles on this. I tried to sit there and shoot into the boss's shield, and this is one of the few kind of like Charge Man or Stone Man. It's just one of those things that you can't get through. So we just have to wait for the doors to open and just shoot them then.
Even when it's a task and I see the damage get down at 2 HP, I still get nervous, but it's a task.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Wily 3, the refights. So this is the most infamous section of this entire task. We are going to do a trick here that was originally task only. You'll see it here in a second, but first we got to go through Charge Man again, which is annoying because he's got all of those coal attacks, so we have to deal with that.
Originally task only, it's a good thing this is a task.
Yeah, well, I mean, so what we're going to be doing once we get done with Charge Man is we're going to do a jet skip. We are going to skip all the rest of the refights using Rush Jet. If you have seen the any % run, you know that you can sit there and use arrows once you go through Napalm to sit there and implement the skip. Watch. And we're through.
Really cool.
Originally, now like I said, originally this was task only. Until just recently, when I showed off everything that I was going to do with the Mega Man 5 community, Kaiser Krister, Chrissy, went, wait, what if we were to do this further away from the screen and try and implement the skip that way? So they worked on it because they were trying to do arrowless, and actually managed to get the skip. So actually, the Rush Jet skip is RTA viable, which is amazing, and I'm kind of happy to see that that went through.
I've seen Chrissy actually was able to pull it off a couple times. There was a Mega Man 5 tournament earlier this year, and pulled it off. It was really cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, the skip itself, when you look at it from the task input point of view, it's like half a second of inputs. It's like 30 frames of input, and all of a sudden, it's done. So the fact that Chrissy was able to sit there and figure out a way to be able to do it from a further distance and implement is just absolutely amazing. So here we are at Wily Press. It's legit one of the worst fights in the entire game. It really is.
There's some RNG here too, right? There's it can go back and forth either 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times.
Yeah, and because the fight's so long, we're just legit at the mercy of the entire fight. So, I've always just despised going through this section, and you can only hit him once per cycle. So he has to press 28 times in order to be able to take him down. Because you can't use Rush Coil or Rush Jet because it's a moving stage. So it's that problem that we run into again. So we're getting close to the end of this fight. Cosmic, I'll pass it off to you again if you got anything more before the end of the run.
Nothing new at this moment. Just keep getting those donations in as we sit here and let Wily just
be wily.
Just be wily.
Yeah.
So each one of those inputs is a double B press, right? One to spawn, just really quickly, a rush spawn plus a shot.
Yeah, because you have to have rush on the screen whenever you're able to sit there and shoot. So you have to sit there and press it, and then press it again in order to get the shot off.
So not only are you waiting on Wily, you actually have to wait on Wily and make sure that rush is on the screen for you to take your shot.
Yeah.
That's that's fun.
And also what's pretty cool is there is a 1 lemon gap in between the Wily pod and the Wily press. And you can actually shoot in between those. I've found that out a couple of times. So here we are, end game. We are now at the end of the game. We are going to be going up against the Wily Machine, and then Wily Capsule. So you're going to see me summon Rush right where I have it. And part of that is because I don't want to sit there and, accidentally jump on him. I know it's task, but summoning him right there keeps him out of the way. I don't get hit, or not get hit, but I don't jump on him and, expend energy where I don't need to.
And talk about a dance. The way you dodge those missiles, plus the ball that was bouncing, that's slick. Just weaving between them.
Yeah. So we get a quick shot there, and now we're just basically reacting to Wily. Everything that you see will be there for a reason. Of course, it's TAS. We can get 2 shots on him every single cycle. So this is going to be 14 spawns. But take a moment to enjoy one of the best Wily themes, right next to Mega Man 4.
No, I'm glad you said that, because I always felt like this Wily boss theme was underrated. I really enjoy this one.
Yeah, and of course Mega Man 9 has a really good one too, but
I don't know. It's pretty good, but Mega Man 9 Capsule, I just block it out of my memory from existing. It's painful. Although this is quite the casino as well. For something like this, Buster only, this Rush only, and of course if you do beatless,
yeah,
you're at Wily's mercy.
And if you were to do this as an actual run, you'd probably be bringing in an M tank, just in case. So, and here we are mopping up. We're gonna get there and get the shot because he's gonna pop right there. And he's down.
GG.
GG's. So that is the Mega Man 5 Rush only test. I do apologize again about the technical difficulties that we were running before. Kind of got them worked out. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
everyone. This was
GG.
awesome.
Any shout outs or anything before you head off?
Shout out, like I said, again, HJA, thank you for being there, being the person to sit there and always watch the stuff that I, kind of bounce off as an idea. Shout out to Phantomire for being just a great human being. And shout out to Carter Freak. Happy birthday, man. This is a great charity to be donating towards. Hits really close to my heart, personally. So, yeah. It's a great cause, and I truly appreciate the ability to be here. Also the staff, really quick. The staff, Mannix, Ahmad, like I said, Carter, all the hosts, Cosmic, thank you. Just great set of guys. So with that, I'm going to get off, and Vet's going to be up with Mega Man 4. So enjoy that run.
Cheesy cracker, taking my job here. Thank you. Quite all right. Yep. Like Moonkues said, we got Mega Man 4 coming up next with Iraq, Vet, and Guy Next Door. Thank you all again for thank you both for showing off tasks. I always like watching them. So we'll be back right after this break. Thanks.